So, you've built a pretty clever AI agent. I mean, it works great in the demo, right? But how do you actually get it from that cool prototype to a rock-solid, enterprise-grade system that your business can depend on day in and day out? Okay, let's get into it, because that journey, that last mile, is where all the real work begins.
You know, this quote just nails it. It really gets to the heart of the whole problem. Spinning up an agent is one thing, but making it reliable, safe, and trustworthy enough for the real world, that is a whole different ballgame. It's all about building confidence in an autonomous system.
Because look, if you skip the hard parts, the consequences are very, very real. We're not talking about just technical glitches here. These are major business failures. A support agent gets tricked into giving away free stuff, a user gets into a database they shouldn't, or an agent just goes wild over the weekend and racks up a massive bill. These are the nightmares we're here to prevent.
Now, take a look at this, because this is fascinating. It's the breakdown of where the effort really goes. And what we see over and over is that a whopping 80% of the work isn't even on the agent's core brain. It's on all the infrastructure, the security, and the validation needed to make it safe and reliable. Turns out, the last mile is actually most of the journey.
So how do we build that trust? Well, it all starts with a disciplined practice we can call AgentOps. Yeah, think DevOps, but built for autonomous agents. And the very first stage of AgentOps is what we call the pre-production gauntlet. It's this process designed to build automated confidence in your agent before it ever even sees a real user.
The one core question we're trying to answer right here is simple, but it is so critical. How do you stop a bad update from ever reaching your users? I mean, a tiny change to a single prompt could have massive, unintended consequences. So how do you catch it?
And the answer is this really powerful principle called evaluation-gated deployment. It's a simple rule, but it's everything. No new version of your agent gets deployed unless it first passes a whole suite of automated tests. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a hard, non-negotiable quality gate.
So how do we bring that to life? With this, an automated CI/CD pipeline that basically acts like a funnel. First up, in pre-merge, we run really fast checks to catch obvious problems early. Then, in staging, we do a much deeper validation in an environment that looks just like production. And only then, after it passes everything, does it move to a gated rollout, almost always with a final human giving the thumbs up. But even after all that testing, we don't just flip the switch and hope for the best. We de-risk the final launch with these proven strategies. A canary release lets us test the new version on just a small slice of users first, maybe 1%. A blue-green deployment gives us an instant rollback plan if anything goes sideways. These aren't just little technical details, they are our final safety net before this thing is fully live. Okay, deep breath. The agent is live. But guess what? Our work isn't done, not even close. Now we have to shift into managing it out there in the wild, and that requires a completely different mindset. It's all about creating this continuous cycle of observing, acting, and evolving.
See, unlike traditional software, an agent is an autonomous actor. It can go down unexpected paths and do things you didn't quite plan for. Just sticking some static monitoring on it isn't going to cut it. You need a dynamic, continuous loop to manage this thing effectively.
And that loop looks exactly like this. First, you observe. You dig into the agent's behavior with detailed logs, traces, and metrics to really understand what it's doing. Then, you act in real time to manage any issues with performance or cost. Finally, and this is the most important part, you evolve the agent by turning all those learnings from production into permanent deployed improvements. So we've pretty much mastered operating a single agent. But what happens when your organization has dozens of them? Well, the next great challenge, the next frontier, is getting them all to collaborate effectively. And this right here is a huge source of inefficiency. You've got a customer support agent, a fraud detection agent, and a forecasting agent. But they're all living in their own little silos. They can't share what they've learned or delegate tasks, which forces every team to basically rebuild the same stuff over and over again. So to solve this, we really need to understand the two main ways that agents can communicate. First, there's MCP, or Model Context Protocol. Think of this for simple, one-off tasks, like telling an agent to use a calculator. You're basically saying, do this one specific thing. But then there's the more powerful one, A2A, or Agent-to-Agent Protocol. This is for true collaboration. It's for giving another agent a complex goal to achieve. The difference is simple. One is for using tools, the other is for working with peers.
All right, let's pull all of these concepts together into one single, cohesive framework. This is it. This is the complete lifecycle for taking an AI agent from a simple prototype to a continuously evolving production-grade asset for your company.
It really all rests on these 4 pillars of AgentOps. It starts with people and process. That's the human foundation for everything. Then you've got that automated pre-production engine to guarantee quality. Once it's live, the observe, act, evolve loop drives constant improvement. And finally, interoperability protocols let you scale from just one agent to an entire collaborative ecosystem.
And let's be clear, this is not just about playing defense and preventing failures. The real prize, the real value of this whole system is achieving velocity. When you have mature AgentOps practices, you can turn an insight from production data into a deployed improvement in a matter of hours, not weeks or months. That's how you build truly intelligent, evolving systems.
So, as we wrap up, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Your AI agent is built, but without the kind of operational discipline we've just talked about, is it a potential liability just waiting to cause a problem? Or is it a true, trustworthy asset that's actually driving value for your business? The choice, really, is in the process.